It's the Brian and Kendra Show with Brian Cook and Kendra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kendra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, it's Brian Cook and Kendra Cox with Keller Williams Realty Elite and the Brian and Kendra Show today. And,
How long have we worked together, Brian Cook?
not long enough.
Brian still can't remember my name, y'all. We have
it's-
to practice before we start.
Yes, we'll
He's
do that.
Brian, I'm Kendra. He's
Yes.
Brian, I'm Kendra. Man,
But we have David Strunk with us.
Super excited to have David Strunk with us.
Well, glad to be here.
I'm wondering how much I'm going to owe you for joining us tonight because I know you're not excited.
Well, I'll have to figure out a bill.
All right, so we are, this is like round 2 of home inspections. We wanted to talk, we have 2 local home inspectors, and we really appreciate that there are 2 because it's hard to get anyone to come to Woodward, which is so silly because Woodward is the best place. So we appreciate that you would join us and talk to us about what you do.
Thanks for the invitation.
Yes, yes. So we are pre-recording this. This is actually July, I don't even know what today is.
3rd.
Just today is July 3rd.
Second.
It's July 2nd. You don't know my name, you don't know the date. You are Brian, I'm Kendra.
I got fireworks on my brain.
Oh, I love fireworks so much. So by the time that this airs, 4th of July will be over and I'll be crying because there won't be any more fireworks. I love the rodeo, I love fireworks. They put them all right together. And then what am I going to do for the rest of the summer?
Sell houses.
Oh, okay. I can do it. All right, so are you ready to get
Ready,
started?
let's do this.
Okay, so David, first things first, tell us a little bit about you and your family because your wife is also, she's a business owner here in town.
Yes, she is. She has a Annette Strunk Farmers Insurance Agency. She's worked for Doug Ross since 2001, I believe it is. I moved here in 2002 and been doing construction, home inspections. That's pretty much what I've done since I moved here. I started doing home inspections in 2010. Got my license and came on from there.
What made you decide to start home inspections?
Well, I knew that I didn't want to completely retire when retirement age.
Nobody wants to just sit at home, huh?
And so I thought, I'll try this home inspections. And I had talked to another home inspector here in town, Ken Snyder, back in 15 years ago. And I got the idea that, it might be something I could do. It's not a full-time job, but it's, it'll subsidize my retirement.
Sure.
And so here I am.
So is it really not a full-time job?
Well, sometimes it gets to be a full-time job, but it's
Because it seems like sometimes you're really hopping.
there have been times when it's been like every other day. So, I get a little time off.
Good,
But,
good.
I'm not punching a time clock.
Ah, that makes all the difference, doesn't it? I don't punch a time clock either. I might supposed to, but I sure don't. All right, so a couple of things, just to kind of recap for people that may have missed our first session with home inspections. But in the state of Oklahoma, do you have to be licensed to be considered a home inspector?
You do have to have a state license and have to have 8 hours of continuing education every year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's actually pretty close to what we have altogether. I
We
mean,
have
21 every 3, so you
years.
have a little bit more requirements for your continuing ed even than we do.
And it's pretty. There's a couple of different places that you can take a home inspection continuing education, but there's a place in Tulsa and one in Oklahoma City, and you can also do it online.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that keeps you up to date on different things.
Sure. That's important to us. You had mentioned, Brian, that on our contract that we need licensed home inspectors for if you're going to charge. So a lot of times a buyer will be like, oh, my dad is really smart and he knows lots about houses and he can do a home inspection. And dad can, but dad can't charge for it. And that's kind of a distinguishment that it allows you to charge because you have the professional qualifications
Right.
to do this job.
Yes, I've looked at a lot of homes over the years for people, friends. We're buying a home. Would you take a look at it and see if it's, if you would buy it? That's what they would ask me. And, I've done a lot of them for free.
It's funny that you say that because we used to have a home inspector locally, and he's passed away now actually, and I was at a home inspection that he had completed, and he was really concerned about something. It was a manufactured home, and it was like there weren't any tie downs, which was very unusual. But he said, I wouldn't buy this. And I thought, oh my goodness, from now on, every single house that I ever met him at, whenever we were finished, I'd say, hey, would you buy this house? And it was funny. He said yes to every other one except for one. And I think that's kind of speaks volumes to the home inspection, because you find a lot of things. Like, a buyer is paying you to find problems, right?
Right. Well, they're not probably not wanting us to find a problem, but
Verify
if
that
there
you're
are
buying a good
problems, they
house.
want to know it.
Yes.
But I think that's important to recognize that usually the problems aren't so significant that would make a buyer need to run. And so I really appreciated that about him, and I love that you've already said those things too. Yeah, I'd buy that house.
It's it's one of those things where you look at it and I just report what I see.
Absolutely.
Check the working mechanisms in the furnace and the air conditioning systems, electrical, appliances, and then of course paint and anything like that that's cracked or ceiling sagging. There's a lot of different things that can cause those.
So let's start from I just stuttered again, from beginning to end. When you begin a home inspection, what's the method to your madness?
The method to my madness? Well, I don't know if there's
He
a
didn't like
method
it that I
to
just called him out for being mad, does he?
No,
But you've got a way that you do things. So
sure.
attic first.
Well, it just depends on the weather. That has a lot to do with it, because like today, I would get in the attic first thing this morning.
Oh man, and even then it was miserable. I'm
But
sure.
yesterday, I was in the attic Tuesday. I was in the attic at 3:00 in the afternoon. It was pretty warm.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Wow.
Every time I see y'all go for that
But-
attic, I feel sad for you.
Luckily, it was well insulated. The good rafters, solid decking, 3/4 inch decking on it, and did see any moisture stains, and it's a good roof. And I'd been up on the roof earlier that day, so luckily I didn't have to spend a whole lot of time in the attic, and the buyer was right there.
Awesome.
And I was explaining to him what was.
And they didn't want to stay in the attic.
They didn't want to stay up there either. And I don't mind the buyers being there. In fact, I encourage it if they can.
Yes.
Simply because it's easy to talk to a buyer and tell them this is something I'd be worried about.
Absolutely.
Or say it's not a big deal, but this is an issue, I'll write it down.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing I've noticed with you on some of the inspections I've been with you on are, like, I remember leaving a home inspection one time and going home to my house and tell my family, we need to clean this air conditioner. We need to turn off the, I just lost the word, the breaker, and we need to get the hose out. And I was all like, oh, we've been missing out for all these years. Like, you're really great at kind of almost teaching some home maintenance things.
Well, thank you. I don't look at it that way. I just, tell them what I know.
That's because you already
works.
know, but we don't all know.
But that's a big deal. The condenser outside is one of the big deals. And this area, the dust and the dirt blows, and it's just like a car radiator. It gets full, and it doesn't let the air go through it, so it doesn't cool the freon,
Sure.
which goes into the exchanger. So, it needs to be cleaned. Not all the time, but if you can clean it annually or, biannually,
Right.
it's a good deal. The filter inside the home is a major thing. If
Brian
they
has 3 filters at his house, he said.
4.
4. That absolutely blows my mind. Isn't that horrible?
You have 4 filters, huh?
Has to change those every month. That
Wow.
stinks.
It's very funny. Thank you, Amazon, for reminding me every month of a big box on my front doorstep. That's the only way I
Whenever
can
I-
remember to do it.
Well,
When I think about it, I'm always like, I'm so glad I have tiny house.
I encourage buyers to buy a case of filters and set them in a area where they can get to them.
You trip over them.
Right, yeah, somewhere you trip over so you know they're there.
Yeah.
and put a date on each one of them and change it if they want to do it every 2 months or every month.
I did that, but then I would forget. So,
Yeah.
because my wife would move them, and then I'd forget
She
about
didn't
it.
like him in the living
She
room
didn't
floor.
like them in the middle of the living room on the
Weird.
TV. So I just Amazon delivers once a month, first of the month.
Maybe if I just put one in front of the TV, my kids would start doing it.
They'd be like, "What's this block TV filter?"
It's blocking, it's filtering out all the bad stuff on the TV.
Yeah, I don't know that we can filter all that out.
Yes. And then,
All
so
right.
how do you charge on your home inspections? How do you come up with those prices?
I've got a minimum of $250,
Mm-hmm.
and that's for up to 2,500 square feet.
That's
Then from 2,500 to 3,000 square feet is 300, and 3,000 to 3,500 is 350, and so on.
okay.
I guess the biggest one I've inspected is 5,500 square feet.
Wow.
How long did it
That's
take?
been several hours,
Yes.
because there's usually 3-4 bathrooms, and 4 living areas, maybe 5, and then the bedrooms.
That's a lot of outlets to put your little tester into.
It is, and I don't check every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I random test them, because if you check every one, that's you're wasting a lot of time, because most of them, the circuit is off one, off the other, and
Sure.
the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I do check at least 3 of them in each room.
Right. And what do you inspect in a bathroom?
In a bathroom, well, first of all, I usually open the doors on the sink and plug the sink and fill it up with water.
Mm-hmm.
Check the hot water, make sure it's running, the cold water, and to get it up high enough where it will forcefully drain when I push the plug or pull the plug out. And then I get under the sink and look to see if there's any water
Mm-hmm.
leaks for the drain. Old water leaks, recent water leaks, and then check the supply lines and make sure they're not loose leaking any water.
Mm-hmm.
If the sink is loose in they're usually in a vanity, and if it's loose in there, that's a issue that needs to be tightened up, because if they're loose in there, usually around the top of it, it's not siliconed in good.
Right.
So water from the top can leak
Mm-hmm.
down there. Then I check the around the toilet, operate the toilet, make sure it's working well, feel underneath, see if there's any water under there leaking, and when I flush it. The shower, usually check the floor. Most of the time I can't say most of the time, half the time it's fiberglass, half the time it's ceramic, and the tile, a lot of times it will need regrouted,
Right.
cleaned up and regrouted to be able to seal it all tight. Air conditioning, vents, heater, fan, vents.
Mm-hmm.
The drain on the tub. I run into a lot of drains that seem like they're slow, but when you're standing there watching them, they seem that way.
Yes.
I bet
And
it
I
does.
have timed them, and they are, most of them drain well.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing is the hair gets down the
Yes.
drain, and people don't realize how much hair gets down a drain.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
In the sink and the shower,
Sure.
it's unbelievable.
I have 3 daughters and a wife.
Yeah.
All
So
one
you
year.
and I found a little product. I don't want to push a product, but I found a little product that works well.
Wow.
You might
I'm
have to
gonna need
text
that.
Brian
I
and
need
I.
And
I have a tool from Atwood's that I've just run down the
Yeah.
mini.
Okay,
This
but
one
in my tiny house, that little tool doesn't go down the drain. What a pickle is that for me?
You have to unscrew the top of it and then run it down the drain.
No, like the, I don't know words, Brian. Okay, so there's a little deal that sticks out.
Yes.
Like people on the radio are like,
The
"What
stopper.
is she?" I don't know. Anyway, it won't go down between that and the side of the pipe. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So then I can't unscrew the dilly on the
To show you
stop
this
now.
is great. This is awesome. The little thing.
I
the
know what
bobber,
I'm saying.
doohickey.
I can see all of this so brilliantly in my mind's eye, and I just don't know what to call these things.
the
Okay, I'm just going to go back to home inspections and forget that.
Okay.
Send us the product.
Yes.
People, if you need the product, let us know. We'll let you know. Okay, so here's what I always see on the reports is the diverter. The tub diverter, am I saying that right? That's what makes it go from the shower to the...
Uh-huh.
Okay, I see that is malfunctioning a lot.
A lot of times it does.
But that always surprises our sellers, which is funny to me because most people take showers.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Well, it gets it depends on where you're at, if the water is hardened water. I mean, if you've got deposits,
Oh, right.
the deposits cause it to not stay up. In fact, mine in my house, I need to clean it, but I have to have the water on and then pull it up, and the water will hold it up. And a lot of them are made that way. When you turn the water off, they flop back down.
So that's what we're talking about. Okay, so if I'm going to clean that, how do I clean it? Vinegar?
CLR.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If you can take that spout off and they unscrew, take it off, dip it in, soak it in for a day or while you're at work or something, in the end of it, the outward end. Soak it in a glass of CLR, and it'll eat all that off there and loosen it. It'll work better.
Alrighty, there you go.
Pretty cool.
Little tip. Do we need to take a break?
We need to take a break.
All right, we'll be right back.
Comfort Zone is a multi-generational company serving Northwest Oklahoma in commercial and residential needs. Plumbing, air conditioning, heaters, refrigeration, sewer and drain cleaning, backhoe trencing, and crane service. And they are your geothermal specialists. Contact them at 580-254-5864 or stop by 116 East Main Street.
It's the 5 hours you spend in the kitchen mastering your famous recipe or spending quality time with your family. Other insurance companies may just see it as a house. It's not just a house, it's your home. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Kevin Kanzler, and I see your home as the time and memories you put into them. I understand what your things really mean to you, and I'm here to help give them the protection they deserve. My office is located on the corner of 13th and Oklahoma and Woodward, or call me at 580-256-2216 for your home insurance today.
On Point Land Survey can take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial survey needs. This family-owned and operated business proudly serves Northwest Oklahoma and Southwest Kansas. These lifelong Northwest Oklahoma residents with over 19 years of experience are ready to serve you with the latest equipment and capable trucks to get your job done. Call On Point Land Survey today at 580-256-6757 or at 1918 Main Street in Woodward, Oklahoma, or visit their website at onpointlandsurveyok.com. Professional, trusted, local.
This is Todd McHugh
and Jackie Jones
with Woodward County Abstract, Dewey County Abstract, and Fairview Abstract. I would like to thank everyone in Woodward and Northwest Oklahoma for choosing us for their real estate title and closing needs this past year. We will be offering new services in 2020, including bilingual closings, internet closings, and digital abstracting.
We look forward to making real estate closings faster, simpler, and more efficient for you in the future.
We want to thank you for your continued support and business.
Hi, I'm Connie Rowland in the mortgage department at Bank 7. Bank 7 is a full-service bank with over 40 years of combined experience. Melinda Russo and I are a dynamic duo team committed to making your loan process smooth. With a variety of loan products, we would love to sit down with you and discuss your loan options in person, or we offer online and over-the-phone application processing. The Woodward branch is located at 34th in Oklahoma. Find us online at mortgage.bank7.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Bank 7 is an equal housing lender in MLS 677297, phone 580-254-0100, where our best investment is you.
Hey, we're back.
This is Kendra Cox.
And I'm Brian Cook.
With the Brian and Kendra Show. We have David Strunk.
And I'm here.
And you're here. Okay, so, all right, so Brian
Can
asked
we say the name of your company?
Eagle Eye Home Inspections.
Okay, great. I was just I'm not sure if we actually introduced that correctly.
No, I'm bad about that because I'm always just like, oh, it's David
We're
Strunk.
calling David,
Like,
yeah.
we just call David, and so I'm not
I
good
always
about
liked
that.
your
So
name,
Eagle Eye.
Eye.
It
I
is
always liked
fun.
that name.
Spotting some fun things.
Yep.
Okay, so Brian asked you some great questions about what you specifically inspect in the bathroom. So tell us about the kitchen. What do we look for in the kitchen?
Well, I usually inspect the kitchen first, if the weather's permitting, and that's, 'cause I come into the house and I put my stuff on the kitchen counter, so I just start in there. I'll check all the lights, open the doors under the sink and plug it off, run water in there. Move it over to the disposal side if there is a disposal, and make sure the disposal's operating fine. I'll go back the other side and let some water fill up in the sink. Same as the bathroom. And then while the water's running, I check, see if there's any leaks in the supply lines, and the same, just basically the same thing. Check under, because when you get a sink full of water, it pushes the water pressure. Hydrostatic pressure will push out of those pipes, the drain pipes. So that's when you can see it better.
So do you check the appliances? Do you check the stove and the oven and the
Yes.
dishwasher?
Mm-hmm.
So that means you know how to operate them.
Yes.
This
Well, I
totally
kinda,
for Annette's
I wonder about
benefit.
myself sometimes. Yeah,
Annette, he knows how to operate the dishwasher and the stove and the oven.
You're in trouble now.
I've been waiting all day for this.
Oh, well, you looking for somebody to cook?
No, not me. I'm just making sure Annette knows you can.
Oh.
But yeah, no, okay. So anyway, all right. So you check the appliances. You run the dishwasher.
Right.
It had not really occurred to me that the home inspector would do that, and I don't know why it
Well,
didn't.
and I always
but-
ask if the seller is there, if they mind, because sometimes there's dishes in there, and I say, you want to put some soap in here? You know, I'm going to run it. And, you know, they don't mind. One of the things about a dishwasher is the hose has to be above the bottom of the sink. It has to loop up and come back down to the drain, because if you don't have a gap for air. Now, some of the dishwashers, like I just bought a new one, already have it on the side. The hose is already mounted on the side and goes up to the top, but the older ones don't have.
You know, right now I've got this mental note in my head, like, I wonder what mine looks like, because I knew this, but I forgot about it
have
whenever I
mine
moved to my little tiny house.
Zip tied to the screw under the
Oh,
sink.
that's brilliant!
Because I was like, I used to prop stuff up to get it up that high, and somebody moved something, it'd
Fall
fall.
I
And
just need a zip tie. Branson, are you like all worried, like you're going to go straight home and look at your dishwasher? Yep. He's all like, yeah, I am.
Well, the biggest thing is if you get if things back up, and it can back sewage into your dishwasher.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
out on the floor. When you open the dishwasher, it comes out on the floor. So, I mean, drain sewage, not.
Well, that's just offensive.
But it is. But it can happen. You know, it's probably a rarity, but it can
I
happen.
hope so. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So, oven, you check all of the burners. You check to
Uh-huh.
make sure that the oven heats.
Yes.
Those kinds of things. Okay, so then heating and air conditioner. So I've seen you turn on, man, bless your heart, I've seen you turn on that furnace in the dead of summer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't like to be there when you do that.
It's,
I usually think you're a pretty fun guy, but when you do that, I'm always like, yeah, I'm not liking him right now.
Well, I try to do that first thing when I get there, before I do the kitchen, you know, and all that, because I know in the summertime you don't want a bunch of heat in there.
No.
Turn it on, make sure it's heating up, then shut it off.
Now, I make Brian do all the home inspection kind of things now. I avoid them. With this fun team we have, that's one of the tasks that I say I don't have the skill set for. Wink, wink. So Brian does that. But if I remember correctly, you kind of take the temperature and see where the temperature lands with the heating and with the cooling to make sure that they're doing their jobs appropriately, right?
Right.
And then so with the heater and with the so we talked about that a minute ago. That's kind of that's the common problem is that people aren't changing their air filters. They're not cleaning the condenser. Are there any other things that I would want to pay attention to with my furnace or with my air conditioner?
Well, if you with your furnace, as long as you're cleaning the filter, changing the filter, you should be all right. Now, in the wintertime or summertime, you might want to take the door off of it and run a vacuum in there to get some of the dust out.
Oh yeah.
Nothing major. The air conditioning is a different story. You've got to have like 15 to 22 degrees difference in the lines. So you can check the outside lines of when it's running. The large line will be cold. The small one will be hot. It gets pretty hot too. But if they're big difference in them, they should be fine.
Okay.
You know, your Freon. If your Freon gets low or you get a clogged filter, you can look out there, and if it looks like it snowed on it, you're out of Freon.
Right.
So, or low on Freon, or your filter is plugged up.
Right.
And I've seen plugged filters cause the A coil inside to frost up, and then it shuts off. Or when you shut it off, then it drains out on the floor underneath your unit, and you got a little bit of a mess there. So it's it's not a bad idea to get somebody to take a look at your air conditioner once a year.
It's
Tune up,
recommended to
a
have it
tune-up,
serviced,
yeah.
isn't it?
They call it a tune-up, and some people call it something different, but get them tuned up.
Okay.
So they're going to work, especially before the summer and before it turns cold weather.
Right. Right. What do you? So do you inspect fireplaces? Do you inspect Sprinkler systems, do you inspect those kinds of things as
I
well?
don't. A
The
sprinkler
swimming pool?
system is considered a add-on,
Okay.
and that falls under a different category. A person that installs sprinkler systems would probably inspect that. Fireplaces, yes, I inspect those, and I always recommend them being cleaned before they're used if they're burning wood.
Sure.
A lot of fireplaces anymore are gas, so there's no vent.
Right.
It doesn't. They're vent free with the gas logs. The fireplaces, a lot of times on the top, the old brick ones have a cap, cement cap or mortar cap, and they're cracked a lot.
Sure.
And that's something that I point out. You need to caulk those or seal them up on the top, and then put a good coat of exterior paint on top of it, gray or whatever, just
Sure.
to make sure water doesn't get down through there and seep into the house somewhere.
Right. Okay. Do you want to take one more quick break and we'll be
let's
right
do that.
back?
Homeowners and business owners, do you want to know how to extend the life of your home or commercial building? Call APC LLC in Woodward. APC specializes in installing high-quality 5-inch and 6-inch seamless guttering and custom commercial guttering. Whether it's a small system or a large system, APC can help. Call APC LLC at 580-571-2384. That number again is 580-571-2384 for all your seamless gutter needs.
Our home is usually our largest investment, and we insure it against damage. One unseen destructive force not covered by most insurance policies is termites, which can infest a house for years before being detected. Termites cost U.S. homeowners an estimated $5 billion annually in treatment and repairs. Using the Centricon termite bait system, JCP Services can protect your home from the threat of a termite infestation. Call 580-334-5380. Again, 580-334-5380.
Stop in to Modern Appliance on Main Street today to see powerful Maytag brand kitchen appliances available in a finish inspired by cast iron. Cast iron black is a hard-working, matte finish that is as tough as it is timeless, so you can trust it to help resist scratches while helping hide fingerprints and minor dents, and stand up to the everyday. Add an iconic look to your home with cast iron black kitchen appliances from Maytag brand. See it at Modern Appliance, 2102 Main, or online at modernappliancewoodward.com.
For 150 years, Sherwin-Williams has been an industry leader in the development of technologically advanced paint and coatings. As the nation's largest specialty retailer of paint and painting supplies, Sherwin-Williams is dedicated to supporting both your do-it-yourselfers and painting professionals with exceptional products, resources to make confident color selections, and expert personalized service that's focused on your unique project needs. Sherwin-Williams is your neighborhood paint store. Stop by and see them, 2101 Oklahoma Avenue, or call them 580-256-5861.
All right, you missed the break. We were talking about really gross stuff like the ponytails in the shower.
You know, okay,
drain.
real fast, a week or two ago, I guess a month ago, I dropped my nose ring in my bathroom sink, and I freaked out because the one that I dropped was a real diamond, and I was like, no! And my son took apart the P-trap, and he was like, ooh, I could hear him in the bathroom. It was awesome. So, okay, Brian wanted to comment.
Just like we was talking about stories as well, like, you know, what all the things you've seen at the house and spider webs, like galore. Some of the basements I just peek under, and I'm like,
I don't want to do it.
I don't do that job.
I usually will take a stick or something and once I get under there, I don't pay any attention to it, but going into it, you know, that's just the start. It's really.
All right, I have one important thing. You said a minute ago that you report what you can see, and I always think that's important, and I try to remind buyers that you can't see everything, that you're going to do your best to find as many problems, to find all the problems that you can, but you can't see what's behind walls. You can't see the plumbing under the concrete. You can't see the wiring that's in the walls, and so there are things I know that are missed, and I just wanted to say that you only can report what you see, and I think that that's important that we remember.
Well, I make an attempt to real strategic attempt to see everything, but a lot of things I can't see. I can feel the walls, see if they feel damp, where there might be a shower's been leaking behind it. It could be damp.
Right.
So that would be, you know, something that I couldn't see. But electrical wires, I can take the cover off the box. I always open the breaker box and look and see if they're wired right, you know, properly. And one of my pet peeves is the breaker panel if it's not labeled
It does
properly.
make it
Yeah,
tough.
it's a big deal.
Because somebody buying a house, they want to know
They
where
do.
everything is. If something happens on Sunday, they got to turn the whole house
Right.
off.
We appreciate you being here, and we love your expertise and you helping us serve our customers.
Yes.
So thanks for stopping and visiting with us
Well,
today.
thank you for inviting me, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Your new favorite, Classic Hits 107.3 KLSI Moreland Woodward. Tell a friend.